Hello everyone, welcome back to your beloved channel, The Rider. I hope everyone is doing good. Guys, in this video, I will predict the Champions League quarterfinal 2023-24, which in my opinion is the most evenly drawn Champions League quarterfinal in the history of the current format Champions League. And that is because if I was given the task of choosing draws manually of this Champions League quarterfinal out of the teams that have qualified, then this is the exact same draw that I would have chosen. I have never seen a Champions League quarterfinal draw that is as evenly poised as this one. If you look at the teams that are facing each other, for example, Borussia Dortmund, who are facing Atletico Madrid, both the teams are struggling. I mean, not exactly struggling, but they are not doing particularly well given their standards in their respective leagues. They're kind of not doing so well this season. Like Borussia Dortmund is in the 4th spot and Atletico Madrid is in the 4th spot. You would expect these two teams to be at least in the 3rd spot. For a team that tends to qualify for Champions League every season, Borussia Dortmund tends to be 2nd in the league table, whereas Atletico Madrid, it is also, you know, somewhat in title contention in the La Liga title race. But usually it's Real Madrid and Barcelona, and I'll talk about them later. Let's just talk about the match between Atletico Madrid and Borussia Dortmund. Well, this season Borussia Dortmund are not particularly as good as you expect them to be, because this season they don't have any player in their ranks that you can say that he is going to be the next breakout star. You expect Borussia Dortmund to produce at least one 100 million young star every season. You expect them to do that. At least that is what they have been doing for the last decade. They have been doing that for over a decade now. You would expect them to produce at least one player. They have had Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham, Jadon Sancho, Ousmane Dembele. I mean, the list goes on. So when you consider this is the first time in over a decade that Borussia Dortmund does not have any player of that ilk. And as for Atletico Madrid, they have done quite well against the big teams. They have been the only team to defeat Real Madrid this season. They are quite a potent threat when they want to be. That is something that we can take from this. But they also lost to Barcelona, so they have been quite inconsistent this season. So if I was to predict between these two teams, they also defeated Inter Milan, so there are no pushovers either. So if I was to predict between Atletico Madrid and Borussia Dortmund, then I would choose Atletico Madrid to progress from the quarterfinal stage to the semi-final stage. The second least interesting tie, in my opinion, is between PSG and Barcelona. In the PSG versus Barcelona tie, I think that although Barcelona are a better unit as a team and they have got history on their side, but PSG is a little more potent in attack because they have got Kylian Mbappe and they have got Ousmane Dembele, who is quite tricky, an opponent to deal with. And although Barcelona have a lot of good players in their ranks and they have gained a lot of momentum, they have picked up some pace in the La Liga title race, and at the moment they are doing quite well. They were not as consistent in the beginning of the season and they were struggling, but right now they have picked up a lot of momentum and pace in the La Liga title race. So they have been quite consistent lately in the La Liga title race. So if I was to choose a team between these two, I think that it's going to be PSG that will qualify at the expense of Barcelona, because Barcelona just don't have that one player who can finish it off. They don't have that player. So I think that PSG, because of Kylian Mbappe, he has the ability to hurt his opponents. He's got a lot of pace. Barcelona don't have a player of that caliber in their ranks. This is one Barcelona side that is not even a shell of its former self. This is not a Barcelona of the MSN era. So of course I don't think that this team is going to do as well as they have done in the past. And although they have not really done extremely good when it comes to Champions League, I guess they're not so good at knockout type tournaments. They're just good at league type tournaments. Even though Barcelona has history on its side and PSG tends to get knocked out quite early in the Champions League title race, I would pick PSG to go past Barcelona. But this is quite an even tie. And now let's talk about the Bayern Munich versus Arsenal. Now this is a very interesting tie in my opinion, because you see, Bayern Munich, historically, Bayern Munich has history on its side. Bayern Munich is one team that has proven to be Arsenal's worst nightmare in the past, and they have been consistently been able to sweat aside Arsenal, not just eliminate them, but they have done that in a very humiliating fashion. So Bayern Munich have history on their side, but this is not the Arsenal side of the previous seasons. This Arsenal side is well oiled and well as a unit. This is a very good team right now, and this is an extremely potent side. That is not the case with Bayern Munich this season. They have been struggling in Bundesliga title race, which happened to be in the past. It was a one horse race league, but right now it's safe to say that Bayer Leverkusen are definitely going to win the Bundesliga title, and I don't think that Bayern Munich have enough quality to get past Arsenal. This is the first time the tables have turned. Arsenal, in terms of attack and overall team chemistry, Arsenal are way better than Bayern Munich this season. I don't think that Bayern Munich have what it takes to beat Arsenal this season. This is the first time the tables have turned, in my opinion. I don't think that Bayern Munich is going to defeat Arsenal. Over two legs, I think Arsenal will have too much pressure. They will pressure Bayern Munich's defense too much. That has been the recurring trend this season. Arsenal have been rock solid in defense, and they have pressurized their opponents so much. They have created so many opportunities because of their creative midfielders, that they keep creating chances for their forwards and they keep scoring goals. So I don't think that Bayern Munich will be able to weather the storm and Arsenal's onslaught. So I think that it's going to be Arsenal that is going to qualify into the semi-finals this season. And now let's talk about the blockbuster, the final before the final match, and that is the match between Real Madrid and Manchester City. I think that this time it's going to be Real Madrid, and unlike last season when Manchester City were doing quite well, they were very consistent this season. They have shown a lot of inconsistencies this season, and they have not been as dominant as they were last season. And moreover, they have struggled to even get past the weaker teams in the Premier League title race. And we know one of the weakness of Erling Haaland is that when he's not scoring goals, he's not doing anything for the team. His impact on the game is like that of the corner flag. And Real Madrid, on the contrary, have got very mobile forwards. Jude Bellingham is firing on all cylinders. We have got Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Brahim Diaz, and Valverde. There are so many players Real Madrid have who can hurt Manchester City. The things that Jude Bellingham does in attack, you know, he makes the difficult things look so easy. So I think that Jude Bellingham and company are going to get past Manchester City. Although Manchester City are no pushovers, they are a very well-oiled unit under Pep Guardiola. I don't think that Manchester City will be able to defeat Real Madrid. This is my initial hunch right now. I think that this time it's going to be Real Madrid and Manchester City, because of the Pep Guardiola factor. Pep Guardiola's teams usually don't do so well when it comes to the Champions League. Pep Guardiola has 2 Champions Leagues, but one of them was because Erling Haaland was too unstoppable last season, but that is not the case this season. This season it seems like Erling Haaland is a very dejected figure, and he does not really contribute to the team's efforts or gain the ball back when he loses it. And I think that Real Madrid have got more mobility going for them, and they have the ability to counter Manchester City on the counter attack. They can hurt Manchester City, and that is why I think that Real Madrid is more potent this season.
My microphone did not capture my voice in the rest of the video, and that is why I'm shooting the remaining part of the video at home. And if you have nightmares after watching this ugly face, then it's your fault. You chose to watch the video. I ain't singing lullabies. And before ending the video, I would like to let you people know that this is merely a prediction, not a spoiler. So there is every chance that my predictions may go wrong. And the one thing that may play against my teams is that every team that I have chosen is playing the first leg at home and the second leg away from home. And whichever team plays second leg at home tends to have an advantage over the other team. And that is one factor that may play against my teams. But I just chose these teams based on which team is looking stronger right now. Football is a very unpredictable game. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your precious time. This is your friendly neighborhood Roider signing off.